Welcome to Mix and Plants and Crafts. My name is Rachel. Today I'm going to be moving my beautiful Anthuriums to a no drainage setup. Since I moved my alocasias to no drainage, they have been doing so well, and now I want to move my Anthuriums to no drainage as well. So one of the reasons why I feel very attracted to no drainage, keeps better moisture control, and that is a plus for me because I'm an underwaterer. Even though I have missed watering my alocasias, they did not seem to mind when I did water them. But because of how it's set up, it seems to be doing really well for me. Let me show you. This is my alocasia aslanii, and it is in a no drainage setup, and it is loving it. This was the leaf I did get after moving it to no drainage, and then quickly after that, this one came, and I'm like, I think this plant liked the setup. And I have another, my alocasia zebrina, that I brought back to life from a corm that died off when I first got into houseplant. One of the first leaf that I was able to grow from the corm, and it has said goodbye. This leaf just came in. It's so crazy. It's getting so big. Um, it's in a no drainage setup. I think this is what it's going to be like for me now. I feel eventually most of my plants will sit in no drainage. I'm really liking it. So we're going to do this to the anthuriums that I have that I repotted some time ago on my channel. And it's time for a repot. One of the things that I feel let me put this back. So one of the things that I feel Anthurium love is a little bit more room in the pot, and it doesn't like to be root bound. That is just my opinion and what I've seen so far with my plants. Since I repotted my plants from the last video, I'll see if I can share it somewhere on here. I did get a few more leaves, but then it stopped because I needed to repot it. And here is an example. This is my Anthurium magnificum, and of course I need to water it. I mean, I can tell I need to water it. This is like the third flower it's given me. I feel like sometimes plants will give you flowers when the plant thinks it's dying, and I think this plant thought it was dying. I desperately need to repot this. This is the new leaf that it gave me. Notice it's smaller than the last leaf I had, and the leaf before this one was bigger. For one thing, I did get spider mites on this plant, and it doesn't have spider mites anymore. But now, I think it just needs a little bit more room to grow. So we're gonna get this all happy and cleaned up in a no drainage setup. The results I've seen of having a plant in no drainage seems to be very positive. From what I've seen online, other people have been doing this. Some might be afraid of doing something in no drainage because of root rot, but if you keep an eye on your plant with a clear pot, you're able to monitor it a little better, but you'll be able to see quickly with the plant leaves when if the plant is not happy. You can just take it out and assess and see what is going on. One of the things that I do not like about no drainage is the actual container that you have to use, and it's glass. You don't know this about me, but I like to drop things, and just having my alocasias in this glass vessel makes me nervous when I pick it up. Now, this one doesn't make me that nervous because it's an actual jar, but the other one makes me a little nervous when I pick it up because I'm afraid to drop it. So this is what I found online. This is an ice bucket, and I got a lot of it. It came in a 12 pack. And this one seems to be the size that I'm kind of looking for my plants. I will be putting a layer of leca in and then soil. That's how I want to do it. I know that you could do it another way with pon. That's a lot of pon to go in here. Definitely, I feel better if I do drop it, that it's not going to break into pieces in my plant room. Yeah. If you want to get some of these, I'll link a description of where I found it. I did find it on Amazon. You can probably find something else that suits you better. Sometimes when you search on Amazon, you just need one thing to help you search for something that you are looking for, like this ice bucket. So I'll link it in the description below. All right, so let's get repotting. I don't know if you noticed, but I have a new background. I moved my plant room. I flipped it. So my office desk that was back here is now on this side, and my sewing equipment and supplies is on this side. So you don't get to see that anymore. You actually get a nice view of plants. I am very excited about that because my background always made me so anxious when I was filming videos and editing. I'm glad for this new background and new plant room setup. I actually can have more plants in here, but I'm doing a no buy, so no plants are coming in. But I do love my new setup. I'll be giving you a full tour of it soon. All right, so the first plant I'm going to I also have this dome from my Anthurium. We're going to see if we can keep the dome. I'm actually going to lift it out to see how the dome is doing. And if I might just put some moss around it and not bother with the dome or put a dome on it later. We'll see. It's exciting. I usually put a little netting where the um, leca meats, but I don't really have this size netting today. I think that's good. So this soil is potting mix, a lot of orchid bark, and pumice. All right, let's move it out of this pot. Oh, looking at the roots. Look at those roots. I want to see what the stem looks like from where I put the dome. I'm gonna need a scissors. Oof. Looks good. To me it does. It's really thick. It's a lot of growth points. The growth points of Anthuriums are so short. Yeah, all right, we're just gonna pull up. Ooh, that is gonna be a problem. It is not enough. All right, we're gonna have to take out some of the soil, and I'm gonna need to take out some of the leca. Yeah, now my soil got leca in it, and whatever, that's fine. I think, oh, I think that's actually a good amount because this Anthurium is kind of taller. All right, let's see if this fits. Very much what I'm looking for. That right there. That is what I'm looking for. That this is going to be buried, and yep, that works for me. I'm happy with that. All right, we have a lot of air pockets. See how that air pocket is right there? Okay, I think that's good. I'm gonna take this soil right here and put it on the top. And take some moss. I'm gonna put some moss around there. I'm gonna still need to prop it up a little bit because it's totally leaning. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I'm really thankful I decided to do it. For now, that works for me. I can't believe I didn't think this one's gonna be larger. I'm gonna have to repot this one soon, but I'm gonna water it after. This is another Anthurium magnificum that I got. Oh my god, the roots are so bad. Oh man, I really need to get better at repotting. Look at the roots. What? This plant is going to be so much happier. This is terrible that I got it this far. I need to be better. Something's got to change. I am taking out the dome that I have. See what's going on with that. I might just put it back in once a little later. It's very dry. Very cool. Some of the arrow roots from what I had around had grown into the soil, which is so great. Look at that. These two grown into the soil, and there's three. There's multiple. There's like 4 or 5 arrow roots in the soil. There's this one, and also that one right there. I don't see spider mice, but I'm gonna give all these a spray down in the bathtub. See if I can get this out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do you see that? What? Look at those ramen noodles. It's moist. It's not dry. I'm gonna put this right on top, literally. I don't even want to mess with the roots. I kind of wanted it buried here. I might have to remove a little bit of soil in there. I think that's better. That is better. That's crazy, the size of these roots. Okay, is there any air pockets? No, no air pockets. Well, I'm very sorry for the sun stuff that's going on. Yeah, it's gonna pass, but that's some good lighting right here. That's good lighting for the room, um, not for camera. I am gonna put the dome back on. And I will put the moss back into the dome. It's been a while since I had a new leaf from this one. and I'm sure it's because of not repotting it. This one is all done. Exciting, exciting. Okay, so this one is the crystallinum. Very sorry about the sun. So, how is everybody New Year's going? Any plans? Oh, more ramen noodles. I don't know. Look how small this pot is and how much plant. I think there's 4 plants growing in this one pot. Well, today's not the day for me to divide anything, but I think I'm gonna have to do that maybe in summer. Oof. All right, so let's get another ice bucket. Let's measure. That's perfect. I can just put a little bit of soil. I hope you guys are doing some repotting with me or exercising or hanging out. Hope you're doing something fun while you're hanging out with me today. Repotting. Oh my god. Oh goodness. How am I? See, I'm gonna have to cut. I'm cutting the pot. Oh goodness. Oh. Looks like this thing outgrew the dome because everything around it is so thick. It doesn't need a dome anymore. The roots were growing up because it had no other place to go. We got this room is quickly gotten so messy. This is the first one that is perfect. It's perfect where it is. I'm going to, oh, you know what? There's a little dried root right here. I'm going to cut that. Oh, okay. There's a few dried root. Okay. Well, this one grew out of a dome completely. It doesn't need one anymore. And let's look for air pockets. None. We'll just wrap it in moss. I'm wrapping dry moss around this with the intention to moisten it later. Okay. Yeah, that works. Okay. Another one completed. I just watered it, so it's... I don't have any pon already. I'm not going to move it to soil. Let's see if I have pon available. I do have some of my pon. We're going to do it. All right, and this, I don't know how I'm going to be able to, I don't know if I'll be able to take this out. I might just dump the pond I have in here. It looks as if it needs a dome. It's really skinny right there and chunky right there. But there's another plant growing right there. So I don't know if I should. I guess I can put some moss around it when I water it. Okay, another one done. I have one more to go. Okay, this is my Anthurium beachy. I do have a new leaf on it, and it is in a small pot. It's needing a repot. It's in the cabinet. I'm going to, not today, but once spring comes, I'm going to take it out of the cabinet, acclimate it to my growing conditions in this room versus the cabinet. I am going to move it to a no drainage setup in this pot right here. It's a square pot, and it seems to work. It'll work for it. I'll do a layer of leca. I can actually use all the leca that I washed. Oh, I like it already. Repotting is messy business. I can't believe I did this. All my Anthuriums. Plastic pot, not glass. All right, that is exciting. This does not need a dome at all because of the way it grows. This plant actually is okay with cooler temperatures from what I've learned about it, which is why I'm going to acclimate it in my growing conditions here in the plant room. You know, over time, your plants will get used to your humidity. I no longer use humidifiers in here. I used to use humidifiers in our old house. I was not really liking the humidifier, so I stopped using it over time, and the plants are fine. I feel like the plants will get used to your growing conditions if you allow it to. And this one is used to the cabinet, used to my IKEA greenhouse cabinet where temperature is pretty much really controlled. I have a heat mat on the bottom of the cabinet, and I feel this would benefit from a cooler temperatures. Plant room gets about 59 degrees Fahrenheit in the evening. This is a room where there's a heat vent, but we keep the house a little cooler than usual because we have American Akitas. If you know anything about American Akitas, they are very heavy coated and love winter, so that's kind of why we do that. We do prefer a cooler home, so it was an added bonus that our dogs like cooler temperatures. So all right, I am so excited about this one. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when having my Anthuriums in this pot. I bet you I'm going to have to do a repot on it by summer. I think it's going to happen, and I'll be ready for it. Okay, we have one more, and that is, I thought I was finished, but I'm not. We have the Anthurium forgetii. How Anthurium forgetii, I forgot about it. So we're going to get this repotted. I'm going to measure it quickly. See, oh, perfect. I'm hoping no drainage will save these plants from being underwatered by me. Oh, please just come out of the pot. Okay. Yep. Yep. And the roots look good. I'm going to leave the dome right on that plant. Not going to mess with it. It's housing 3 or 4 plants in there. I'm going to have to split these plants in summer. Look at all the leaves I have on this plant. There's 4 plants in here. I've kind of cleaned up. I need to vacuum, but mostly cleaned up. I am ready to water. In my water, I have fertilizer and SNS 209. I am also give it a good spray down with Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew as a precaution in case there is spider mites or it will get spider mites. Usually I get a lot of spider mites during winter because of the heat that turns on. It drops the humidity so low in the 20s sometimes that my plants struggle with spider mites. I can tell this one needs water. This flower is, yeah, and that is my fault because again, I'm an underwater. So this one I could not put the leca on the bottom because it's already so big. So I had to do this setup this way. So what I'm gonna do with this one is I'm just gonna water and allow it to fall at the bottom and then stop. I'm not gonna let it pool too much because that soil is going to wick up, and I'll check it again tomorrow to see where it's at, but I'm not gonna water again until I know it looks dry. These areas here will create a little humidity. You'll see some moisture in here. That's when you know there's still some moisture and water in here. All right, let's water. Moisture has already started accumulating here. All right, I can do a little bit more. Now I'm going to allow this to wick up. Next one is the pond. Okay, this is quite heavy now. This plant was already watered and it was moist, so I'm going to allow this to just continue to drain and then it'll wick up. This one is finished. I love this leaf. Let's do the veitchii that's going to go into the cabinet. See how that does. It is a little thirsty because I failed to water it. All right, let's see where it gets up to. I'm going to do a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, the water level is right there and I'm comfortable with that. It's going to continue to wick up because the soil, I didn't do wet soil when I repotted. I did dry soil, so it's going to wick up. And this plant looks so good. I think this is going to do well in no drainage. I'll keep you posted. I do need to moisten the moss, and I think I'll just do that later tonight. I'm going to make note of what this looks like and then in a month from now to see if it changes. The leaves are so tiny. I like that I can hold this with one hand, but knowing me, I'll still do two hands because I'm afraid to drop it. There's a lot of dishes that we've gotten from our wedding that we have dropped and broken. We'll eventually have to get new dishes. So this water is over here and I'm comfortable with that. I'm going to let that wick up. This one's done. We have the crystallinum to do. I love this plant. I'm in a little jungle here. I never thought I would be using ice buckets as no drainage pots, but I am. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and repotting. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Ooh, you guys look so nice.